Welcome back to the Critchell site for the second in our series of videos tracking the wheat trials that we've got spread out the country at Cawood Vine Farm and here at Critchell. We're going to have a quick look today at some untreated so that you can see the background levels of disease here that we're dealing with, and introduce some of the T0s that have already been applied as part of the protocol. So to show you the growth stage of the crop, I've just unrolled a demonstration plant here so you can see the ear developing, flag leaf, leaf 2, leaf 3 about 7/8 emerged, so pretty much at that T1 timing now. The rest of the side tillers soon catching up. Leaf 4 and leaf 5. Leaf 5 being the highest leaf to actually have a demonstrable level of septoria, albeit dried up. The weather, even in the southwest here, we've only had a few mils in the last 3 weeks, and so some of that septoria pressure that we reported on in video 1 has stayed quite static. So this is the untreated plot here, just showing you within the structure of the plant where that septoria and leaf 5 sit within Graham. Obviously the risk is, as a fairly upright variety, that leaf 5 where the septoria has been sitting and is expressing is quite high up here in the canopy, resting up against leaf 4 here, and leaf 3 of a side tiller about half out in this instance. So the risk is there, but it's been lowered to a more protective mode, if you like, just whilst we're running through this drier period. So just to discuss with you the other parts of the protocol that have been applied at T0, I'm going to run through those and leave Jodie to introduce some of the rest of the protocol to you in her video from Cawood. But at T0 we have applied some plots with Folpet, looking to protect leaf 4 against that septoria climbing up the plant. It has been met by the dry conditions as described, so there may be less differentiation created by that, but we will see. And then finally Iodus, which may be a product less known by some, but it's a elicitor product, so it's created from natural plant extracts and contains laminarin as the active ingredient. So it has no buffer zones or residue listings, as it is a biocontrol product, but it activates the plant's natural defences against pathogens, namely on the label both powdery mildew and septoria. So I'm going to show you, just for background, the Folpet plot and the Iodus plot, just so that you can see them and picture the disease levels that we've got moving in towards the T1 timing. So here we've got the Folpet plot, and you can see similar degrees of disease pressure. Again, leaf 5 showing septoria symptoms, rubbing up against leaf 4. So the assessment for the Folpet throughout the program has that addition of Folpet at T0 added a reasonable benefit in protecting leaf 4 for the rest of the season. The final T0 part that we're going to be showing you is the Iodus, as mentioned before, the elicitor product. Obviously at this early stage of the season there aren't really major developments to show you differences of, but just to show the difference between the concept of this compared to something like Folpet at T0. We've got the similar levels of disease on leaf 5, but what we're looking to do is to turn on the plant's natural defence systems rather than protecting a particular leaf layer. So thinking about a product that's more akin to an immunisation, turning on that plant's natural pathological defence mechanism. So now across to the east at the Vine Farm trial site, looking at the wheat trial, so same protocol as Critchell. Let's have a look at the different growth stages on this crop. It's a crop of evolution. You can here see one that I've rolled out earlier. So we've got the ear, the flag leaf, leaf 1, leaf 2. So even in this later drilled slot, leaf 3 on a forward tiller was at least half out. Some other examples here next to it, again taken from the untreated. You can just untuck leaf 3 here. Disease levels very low. You can see here down on leaf 5 as the equivalent to Critchell, lower disease levels from the untreated, and that's just a representation plant really of the whole area. In the T0 video I showed how there was a little bit of rust starting to kick off in this untreated plot at Vine, but that's not come to anything in the last couple of weeks. So similar situation here at Vine to the Critchell site. Very little rainfall the last couple of weeks, but it gives you an impression for what the field and the plots look like. This is the Iodus plot here. No real variation at this stage in plant disease levels or the protection that the Iodus is managing to achieve for the future of the crop. The differentiation to that will come a little bit later. But I'll pass across to Jodie to look at the Cawood site and give us a quick update on that.
Thanks for the introduction to Wendy and Critchell again, Matt. As you can see, we're back at Cawood having a look at our third site for the base protocol. And specifically speaking about the protocol itself, the aim is to look at different SDHI and triazole performances and programs with different sequences, as well as with and without multi-sites. And on this site, we've had a reasonable disease pressure so far this season. Although obviously the dry period that's been experienced across the country has been felt here as well, with only receiving about half the monthly average rainfall in March, and on this site as well only receiving 5 mil of rain through April, which has guided our decision to irrigate the site, which we're quite lucky to be able to do. So on the 20th of April, all of our fungicide trials received an inch of irrigation, which we're hoping will just keep the disease going and push it up some of the leaf levels. But we're going to have a look at a few plants now to actually look at how the disease is progressing and dissect them out and have a look at which leaf levels are emerging as well. So I've got a couple of plants here that we've pulled out, and just a reminder that this is a crop of gravity that was drilled in September. But I've got a more forward tiller here and a tiller that's a little bit further behind. But just looking at them now, we've got leaf 3 emerging here from the most forward tiller, and it's almost fully emerged, probably about 80%. And here on the tiller that's a little bit further behind, again leaf 3 just coming out, probably about 50% emerged. But also just having a quick look at the disease levels. So if we count back, so we've got leaf 3, 4, 5, very little disease on leaf 5 here, and leaf 6 you've probably got about 50% of the leaf which has got septoria on it, and similarly here on this tiller, count back leaf 3, leaf 4, leaf 5. Again, very little disease on leaf 5, maybe some latent disease in there. And leaf 6, nearly all the green leaf area has been taken over by Septoria. But we're just going to have a quick look at some plants that we've dissected now as well. So we can see here that we've dissected out a plant, and we've got the developing ear just here, and the flag leaf, leaf 2, 3, which again partially emerged, probably about halfway emerged, but you can see a little bit of notching here where the frosty weather has caused the stem to constrict and just cause a little bit of notching. Leaf 4, again leaf 5 with little to no disease kind of on there at the minute. Hopefully the irrigation will rain splash some of the disease up. And leaf 6, again probably about 20% disease on there. So a small disease pressure at the moment, but hopefully the irrigation will get some of the disease going and produce some good results from our fungicide trials.